We're joined today by Edmund Ainscough, Managing Director and CEO of Lunnon Metals. Ed, thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me, David.
One of the most prolific areas in the world, if you like, particularly for nickel and also for gold, the Kambalda region of Western Australia. You've been developing a project there for a number of years. How's the project developing?
Okay, well, that project is Baker. It's a discovery we made after we listed in June 2021. Been really aggressive with our spend at Baker. We've drilled 77 kilometres in total across the project. 25 kilometres of that has gone in at Baker. It will be, without doubt, one of the best drilled, best understood, best studied nickel ore bodies prior to development in Kambalda's history. I can say that I first landed in Kambalda in 1987. I've been as big part of my life professionally in Kambalda. So really well studied. The mining proposal has been submitted to the department. We will put out a presentation today when we present showing that we've drilled this thing down to 20 by 20, 20 by 10 in some places. So really de-risk the ore body. It's extremely high grade. The indicated resource is 24,000 nickel tonnes at 3.8%. And as we'll talk about later, grade is king. And Kambalda's famous for its grade. So we've done a really good job at Baker. We're pretty well primed to go. Obviously, the nickel market is not in a great place at the start of 2024. Another beauty of Baker is we haven't started it yet. So that's good for shareholders. We've got ultimate flexibility with when we turn Baker on.
Now we have to talk about the nickel market. We are seeing Australian projects closing or being deferred. How important is grade to the economics of a nickel project, and how does your project stack up in that regard?
Well, grade's fundamental. There's two elements to the revenue side of the equation. One is the commodity price, and the other one is the grade, the quality of the resource. And Kambalda's renowned for its high-grade deposits. In total, since 1966, it's produced 1.6 million tonnes of nickel metal at 3.1. So typically in Kambalda, above an operating cut-off of 1%, the grade's high 2s, low 3s. Baker's no different. We've got 1 million tonnes now at Baker, 1 million tonnes of mineral resource at 3.3%. So it stacks up really well. A lot of the companies you're mentioning that have had to unfortunately shutter up, lay people off, they're quite low grade without looking at peers, but Savannah's like 1%. It's very hard to make money at these nickel prices when your grade's that low. That is why Kambalda is such a resilient field. It's a resilient township. The Kambalda folk have been through these cycles before, but the beauty of being in Kambalda is we have that high grade. It makes us resilient, gives us flexibility, and again, Baker's not in development. So the nickel price right now is actually not that pertinent to how we value Baker. Clearly the market and the sentiment is negative, and that's valuing our shares, but it doesn't really change or affect the fundamental value of our assets in the ground.
How do you take the project forward? Do you stop? Do you walk instead of run? How do you move it forward in a way that matches where you think the price will be when it comes to development?
Look, well, when we spoke in Singapore last year, it was all guns blazing. As I said, we've been really aggressive. We've pushed it really hard. Baker's on granted mining tenements already that predate native title. The steps to move from being an explorer to a developer and a producer are very minimal. So we can actually go at the pace we choose, without a doubt. With the sentiment at the moment, we're just slowing down baby steps. It's not stopping what we're doing in terms of the studies or the permitting. We're pushing those ahead. We want this thing permitted. We want it to sit on the shelf, ready to go at a time of our choosing. But we'd be foolish to not consider the environment we're in. We're well cashed up. We had $27 million as at December 31, and we want to look after that cash and trim our sails rather than stop, just be a little bit more prudent about our cash spend.
And do you turn your attention to gold?
Well, Kambalda's not just one of the world's best nickel belts. Kambalda St Ives is now a 15 million ounce camp, has been produced by WMC and Goldfields, who bought it from WMC in 2001. And our Foster Baker project sits between two of the best gold camps at Kambalda. The Victory Defiance complex is over 3.5 million ounces of past production, and to our immediate south, Argo, Apollo, Hamlet, Athena camp is another 3.5 million ounces of past production. So within a couple of hundred metres of our tenement boundary, we've got 7 million ounces or more of past production, and we've got this nickel belt that when WMC owned it really was a nickel belt. They didn't do much gold exploration. So it's a good time to pivot, have a little bit of a look at the nickel potential, the gold potential, see why there hasn't been more gold production from our tenement package. It's an obvious thing, it's a bit cheaper, the opportunities are shallower, so it's a nice way to use our spend and keep moving forward.
Trimming the sails but moving forward, exciting times ahead for Lunnon Metals and its shareholders. Ed, thanks for your time.